Hello class, today I have a question for you. How can we exercise our democracy when the majority of the United States population isn't participating in elections? Now I know exactly what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, somebody else talking about politics. Every 2 and 4 years, I look outside and see nothing but campaign signs on who I should vote for. But when they get in office, what do they necessarily do for us? And I can't lie, I used to have that same mindset. I used to think, what's the point in us voting? But then I was enlightened. I was enlightened that some of the issues I complain about in the world today regarding abortions and immigration are strictly controlled by politics. So simply by me voting and the entire US voting as a whole, changes could be implemented to better help people in regards to abortions and immigration. Now, today in my 3 points, I'm going to tell you why you should vote, and that is because the numbers would better affect us exercising our democracy. Our predecessors went through many hardships for minorities to be able to vote, and also the numbers aren't accurate and represent our population as a whole. Now, in the 2020 election alone, there were 158 million people who voted, but there were 240 eligible voters able to participate in the election. With these numbers, we can see that there was roughly 40% of the eligible voter population in America that didn't participate in the election. The issue with that is simply people aren't voting, so it's not reflecting the issues and changes that us, the American people, want to see. It's only representing the people who participate in the elections, the issues they want to see change, but it's not representing us as a country as a whole. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the hardships our predecessors, and when I say predecessors, I mean people of minority descent, went through for us to be able to vote, and why it's neglectful of them to not participate in elections. We all know during the times of Jim Crow how hard things were. And the incident I want to talk about today is Selma, Alabama. And in the South, there were very many hardships. It was a very difficult process to vote. You had to guess how many jelly beans were in the jar, or they'd ask you a question that they only know the answer to, and if you said the question wrong, you wouldn't be able to vote. And in Selma, Alabama, there was a peaceful protest led by Martin Luther King and other historical figures. Lots of people were abused and brutally beaten, and because of this protest led to the signing of the Voting Rights Act. The Voting Rights Act granted American citizens all over the world the right to vote. Lastly, with more people participating in the elections, it will better represent the country America as to what changes we feel need to be implemented. So as I said before, there's only 158 people that participated in the election, but if we got the 240 eligible people as a country as a whole to participate, that would better highlight what us as a population feel needs to be changed. I hope I was able to change your view on politics today. Today I spoke on how the historical figures went through hardships, the numbers aren't accurate in representation of Americans, and more people participating in elections will reflect us exercising our democracy to the fullest. Now, with the information I told you today, what will you do? Will you go promote our democracy, or will you only let our democracy be exercised by the people, by a number of people that doesn't fully reflect the American population? Have a nice day.